Good morning, my people, my people, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo. My people, it was another beautiful day for protest, and I enjoyed every minute of my protest. I came out a little earlier than normal today, and I had a wonderful time showing my thoughts with the public. As usual, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, or the white man's frame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you re-enslaved the African American? My people, you know, after I finish bringing you an update as to my protest for the day, it is nothing greater than my delight to share with you something from the Most High. And for the past few weeks, we have been dealing with the topic, who are the Caucasians? And my people, this is a very important topic. Let me make a declaration here, based on what I've told you in the past lessons, and based on what I'm going to tell you today and in future lessons in this topic, who are the Caucasians? The Caucasians are responsible for 100% of the problems that is experienced on this earth. And I am going to prove it to you. I told you that the Caucasians are the children of Satan. The first Caucasians came onto the world scene in BC 2006. That was Esau. The birth of Esau was a fulfillment of a prophecy that the Most High gave, the very first prophecy, which is found in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And in that prophecy, the Most High declared that Satan is going to have children on the earth. We also learn that this fulfillment of the prophecy take place in Genesis chapter 25, verse 25 and verse 26. It really started at verse 22, when Rebecca was experiencing a tumultuous pregnancy. She went to the Most High God and inquired about why is her pregnancy so devastating. And Most High God told her that 2 nations is in her womb. Remember, Rebecca gave birth to Esau and Jacob. Later, Jacob went on to have 12 sons and 1 daughter with 4 different women. And the combined total of Jacob's 13 children became 1 nation. So how is it possible that Rebecca will be pregnant with twins, and those twins are 2 nations? It means that there were 2 different progenitors for the 2 children that Rebecca was carrying. But the problem here is, Rebecca was a virgin and she only knew 1 man, which was Isaac. So how is it that she is carrying 2 children that has 2 different fathers? That is because Satan planted a fertilized egg in Rebecca's womb with his seed, and as a result, Rebecca is now carrying 2 children with 2 different fathers. You must also remember that Esau was not a product of Rebecca's egg. He was a fertilized egg that is planted in Rebecca's womb. That means Rebecca was only a surrogate. My people, today, we are living in a world where man can fertilize eggs outside of the womb and plant them into a woman's womb. How greater are the devils than man? Because the devils has access to our bodies without even making incisions. So this was a possible task. Even the Son of the Most High qualified what I qualify what the Son of the Most High said. When the Son of the Most High gave the parable of the wheat and the tares, he told you how the Caucasians came into the world. And on Friday and Monday, I show you that the Caucasians are responsible for demon possession as we know today. Because during the Bible time, throughout the whole Old Testament period, there were only one instance of demon possession. And that was when King Saul encouraged the entire Israelite army to disobey the Most High God. But in the New Testament, when the Caucasians came back on the scene, there were many instances, so much instance of demon possession that we do not understand that the Caucasians were given great authority over the demonic world by their father, the devil. Now, it is said that the Most High God instituted the institution of marriage in the Garden of Eden when he brought Adam and Eve together. My people, today, it is believed that over 70% of marriages end in divorce. And as time progresses, the instances of divorce get more greater and greater. About 20 years ago, it was 50%. Now it is about 70% today. I am going to make a bold declaration here, and I am going to prove this to be true, that the Caucasians are also responsible for the high divorce rate you find in our community today. It is the Caucasians and the church, the main institution of the Caucasians, that is responsible for changing our culture from what the Most High said to what they want us to do because they want to destroy us. One of the things you must come to terms with is the book of Genesis has the answer to every problem we are experiencing today. Now, the Most High said something in the book of Genesis that have changed the course of history from that time when the Most High spoke those words, even today. And it has to do with marriages. My people, let us turn our Bibles to Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. And let us read that text. And let me explain that text to you. And show you instances from the Bible where this text came into play and how it is not in play today and how its lack of institutionalization in today's world have hampered marriages tremendously. Genesis chapter 3 verse 16 says, unto the woman, the Most High says, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow shall you bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. So the Most High is saying something here. And whatever the Most High says have to come to pass. So first thing he says, in sorrow you shall multiply, I shall multiply your sorrow and your conception. I shall multiply the trouble that you experience, and I shall multiply your ability to have children. With troubles, you will bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your husband, and your husband will rule over you. My people, anytime a woman is pregnant and she gives birth, she is in great trouble. She experiences great sorrow that have never changed. Right? But what we want to deal with here is that your desire shall be to your husband, and your husband shall rule over you. What is the Most High saying here? That a woman desires, sexual desires, desire to love, every desire that the woman have will be to her husband. But who is the husband of a woman? A husband of a woman is that man who deflower that woman. That man who she first have sexual intercourse with. That man who took her virginity. That is a woman's husband. And remember, this was spoken before Moses was even a thought. Now let us go to Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 13, 14 and 15 and listen to what it says here. If any man takes a wife and go in unto her and became dissatisfied with her and speak badly about her and said, I marry this woman and I consummate the marriage and she was not a virgin, then the father and the mother shall lay before the elders the token of her virginity. So what is saying here, that if a man get married to a woman and she is not a virgin, he has no obligation to stay married to her. That is not a marriage. His right is to go and complain and say, you give me a wife who is not a virgin, and my wife ought to be a virgin. This is a standard that the Most High have set for his people and for the entire world. So now, if this woman was not a virgin, that means he married a whore, and he has no obligation to stay married to a whore. Let us discuss the marriage of Isaac to Rebekah. We know the story. Abraham sent his senior servant to look for a wife for his son Isaac. He found Rebekah, and when Rebekah was introduced to Isaac, and Isaac knew that this is the lady who was betrothed to him, what Isaac did, Isaac took her to his mother's tent, had sex with her, and she became Isaac's wife. That means when you have sex with a virgin, it's a marriage. So all of those women that is running around the place are not virgin. They already have a husband. That man who they give their virginity to is their husband. So when you go and marry to a woman who is not a virgin, you are getting married to someone else's wife. Her desire is not to you. You will never be able to rule over her. She will be a rebellious woman. She will never have your interests at heart. Now, what is the standard for a wife that the Most High had dedicated to pastors and preachers and these people who are responsible for teaching people the gospel? Let us turn to Ezekiel chapter 44 verse 22. A priest shall not take for a wife a widow, a divorced woman, but he must take for a wife a virgin of the house of Israel. That means he must take for a wife a virgin who is an Israelite, not a virgin who is an Indian, an African, a Caucasian, but a virgin who is an Israelite. If you can find a pastor today who, when he got married to his wife, that wife was a virgin, you find a great thing. There is hardly any of those. As a matter of fact, I will say, there is none. The only how a pastor or a bishop or a priest is supposed to marry a woman who is not a virgin, according to Ezekiel chapter 44 and verse 22, is if that lady is the widow of a pastor, a bishop, or a priest herself. That is the only reason the Most High give for a pastor, a leader of his flock, to marry a woman who is not a virgin, but she must be the wife of a pastor who have died. So let me ask you some question here. Do you have a wife? And no matter how hard you try to satisfy her sexually in bed, you are unable to satisfy her? That is because you marry a woman who is not your wife. The only man who can satisfy the wife that you have married is the man who she first have sex with. Did you marry a woman, and no matter what you buy for her, she is never satisfied? That is because according to Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Her desire is to her husband, which you are not. And it's only that man who can rule over. So when you give your wife instructions and she disobeys your instructions, it's because you are not her woman. You are not her husband. You cannot rule over her. She has no obligation, no genuine desire to please you. So you will always be in conflict with your wives. And the only reason that all of these people are now going around and getting married to other people's wife, according to what the Most High Word says, is because of the church. And who instituted the church? The Caucasians. Because every popular or conventional denomination or church today was started by the Caucasians. It is they who set the doctrine and the principles. They say based on the Bible, but based on their ability or desire to make you their slave and to keep you their slave. Fortunately for the Indians, the Arabs, and in some other part of Europe like the Chinese, the Caucasians was not able to destroy this culture completely. But when those Arabs, Indians, and Chinese became converted to Christianity, they end up lowering their standards, and now they are caught in the same boat with everybody else, with the true Israelites. Now they are experiencing 50 and 60% divorce in marriages in their community. My name is Chief Strongblood. I'm St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo. I'll talk to you.